Hey everybody, it's Uncle Mark. It's Sunday, October 25th, 2020, and here's this week's balcony garden update. I still got some red tomatoes growing here. Although this plant doesn't look like it has that much life left in it. We are still getting a few tomatoes this year. Now this is the orange tomato plant. You're saying, hey, well, they look pretty green. Yes, they're green. I've picked off the orange ones, and the green ones are still growing. So this plant isn't done for this season yet either, as it appears. It's still flowering. I've even got a tomato way down here on this plant. I ventured back over to my sister's house this morning to take a look at the tomato plants. As the temperatures are approaching the 0-degree mark and possibly below at night now, there could be frost any time that could end the growing season. So most of the tomatoes there have been picked, but amazingly the plants are still flowering and tomatoes are still growing. That's probably because the temperatures are warm enough during the day and they're staying damp because it's cooler out, wetter. So we'll just wait and see how much longer they keep growing this season. And here we are looking at these tomato plants in the ground. They still look healthy from a distance. I'm going to move in closer to show that although the temperatures have gotten close to the 0 line at night, these are still growing, they are still flowering, and I have picked the majority of the tomatoes off them because if the frost hits, these plants will be finished for the season. So the best thing to do in this situation is to pick them even when they're green. They can sit inside and they will turn red indoors. As far as the orange tomato plant that I transplanted here, yes, it's still got some tomatoes on it. It's still flowering. I just picked off a lot of the tomatoes, the green ones that are on there. Because like I said, if the frost gets to the roots, and that'll be it for this season. That as long as the daytime temperatures are above freezing, they will keep flowering and they will keep growing. And they don't even need to be watered anymore this season because the ground stays damp and moist. Looks like we don't really need any more updates on the strawberry plant. I mean, I still got a couple strawberries growing, but for the most part, this looks like it's pretty much done for this season. This looks like it could be the last hot pepper on this plant for this season. There's a little bit of budding on it still, but it doesn't look like it's going to be doing much more. As peppers grow better in the hotter, drier climate. Now this was the plant that did nothing all summer and started to flower and bud just recently. And although we can see flowers and buds on it, I still haven't seen a pepper from it. And seeing that the season looks pretty much done, I don't expect anything to grow out of this plant. But we'll keep an eye on it just in case. And these were the two hot pepper plants that produced a lot of hot peppers this summer and did very well. But as you can see, there's no production on them now whatsoever. And they're done for this season. So as the balcony garden season is winding down, next week's update will bring us into November. Although there may not be too much to report at that time, I do plan to do an update. I'm also going to try something a little different this year. I'm going to try growing plants from seed indoors. So there will be videos about that over the course of the winter. If I'm lucky, I'll get some plants for next growing season. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.